moving on to comics. Teen Justice. I feel like the last issue might be out by now. I don't know. I need to check. But it's real fun. I like Jess Chambers. They're a fun character. I really just want a Jess Chambers solo comic to be honest. But I am enjoying the rest of the Teen Justice team. They're essentially that world that they live in. The Earth 11 is a gender swapped uh it's a gender swap world. All the characters are gender swapped. The Justice League and the Teen Justice, essentially a combination of Teen Titans and Young Justice. And yeah, it's a fun comic. I'm really liking it. I just want to see more of Jess, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for them. They were the future state, the Flash in future state, and I like them. So Dark Knights of Steel. I've kind of given up on it. I'm dropping it. Um, I'm not going to be continuing this story unless I hear something spectacular happens. From the beginning, its pacing has been very, very strange. Like me, you talked about how spoiler alert for if you're planning on reading Dark Knights of Steel. Me, you talked about how we thought it was weird that they killed Black Lightning so early when he was such. This was such a cool version of Black Lightning, a character who already doesn't get the respect he deserves in the comics. You have this really cool version of this character in your comic who's this king of this kingdom of magic users and within the or excuse me, not magic users but metahumans and magic users within the this like a fantasy version of the DC universe, and you just kill them off immediately. You don't even let them breathe for a little bit longer. I didn't like it. And yeah, the pacing has just gotten worse and worse as the story's gone on. Like before we were talking about Tom King, and I made a mistake and I confused him with Tom Taylor, which a lot of people do all the time on Twitter. um, where I said like he's hit or miss. I don't think Tom King is hit or miss. Tom King is mostly hit. I meant to say Tom Taylor is hit or miss, and this is one of those misses for Tom Taylor. He's really fumbling the bag on this one. He had a good premise that started pretty strong, and there's still some good ideas in it, but he's just this is a 12 issue series, and it's um on the seventh issue, and the pacing is abysmal. The Flash 784. Um, well, how do you feel about Dark Knight of Steel from just what you know about it? Because I know you haven't read it.
I literally have not read it, and I literally don't have an opinion on it. I've only ever read like small previews about it and like small posts on Instagram. I thought the premise was cool. I thought the art was amazing. That's really about it.
Yeah, that's about all it has going for it. So the Flash 784. So the world where Wiley's kids ended up, Jay and Iris, ends up being a home to a character called Dark Flash, which is a Batman and Flash amalgamation with a really cool design. He wears like a dark red costume, and he still has like Batman's cape and the ears and stuff. It's real cool. But the lightning bolts on his wrist and his chest are like actual lightning. Um yeah, it's cool. And they have to run from him. uh so Barry, Wily and Wallace found Barry, who they went into the multiverse to look for, and he's trapped in like a dream world where they have to save him. And Wally confronts him, but Barry is seeing the Reverse Flash, so he attacks him. And Wallace goes off to follow that universe's version of Wally, and ends up being pulled into the kind of illusion. And in this illusion, he is in his silver suit from the New 52, his New 52 future, and he's the main Flash. But he doesn't go by Flash, despite the fact that Wally, this version, like the first Wally, says that he's retired and that Wallace is the main Flash. But he goes by Burst, which I don't like that name. I feel like why wouldn't he just go by Flash, or if anything, like Mercury, since he's wearing silver, and it wouldn't be weird for there to be two people with Mercury in their name since there are multiple Flashes. Um, but what were you about to say? Because you just unmuted.
I was about to crack up. That's all.
Yeah, Burst is a horrible name. um, yeah, I like the Flash a lot. The Flash is fantastic. I've like book I've created certain lists in the DC Infinite app because I'm planning on getting a subscription to read certain comics, and one of those in my list is Mark Waid's run on the Flash. No, the entirety of Wally's time as the Flash. And I'm excited to read that eventually. Also, was it Max Mercury and Jesse Quicker? Of course, and the very first Flash. Jay Garrick are in this comic as well, and Jay went to go save Iris and Jay. His name's also Jay, and Max and Max and Jesse ended up in this world, this like Mad Max world. I'm sure that was on purpose because his name's Max, and the Flash is essentially driving a car running away from like road warriors. So Black Adam is dead, and his descendant Malik takes up the mantle, and they call him. So Black Adam wants to like he wants his descendant to essentially like revitalize his image because he's known as this like bad person, and he goes, "You will be called White Adam as opposed to Black Adam because people think that's evil." And then Malik is black, so Malik is like he's black and he's young and he's like a college student and he's from New York and he's just like no, I'm not gonna be called White Adam. What are you talking about? I'm just gonna call myself Black Adam, even if my costume is essentially reverse colors of Shazam and it's mostly white with a red cape. It looks really cool. But he's like, yeah, no, I'm not going by White Adam. That's stupid. Hardware. So like I said, it still remains the best of the Milestone comics. The art by Dennis Cohen is real good, even though, like I said before, every character's face looks different every time he draws them, and it's weird. It's very strange. I don't know if just that's just him getting older, but like it's weird. His art's still good though. I started reading this manga called Witch Hat uh I'll I can never remember how to pronounce this word. Let me look it up real quick. Adelaide. That's what it is. Is Adelaide. There we go. It's called Witch Hat Adelaide. I'm gonna have to cut all that out. But it's essentially I don't know, I feel like this might interest you. It's a manga about a world that on the surface seems very similar to Harry Potter, if the Muggles knew about magic. And there are people who are born with the ability to perform magic and those who aren't. Except that that's not true at all. And the witches, as they're called, are keeping it a secret as to how magic is really performed. And the story follows a little girl who mistakenly discovers the secret and is taken under the wing of a witch to learn how to become a witch. It's very interesting. It's fun so far. I've read what is it the first issue? Excuse me, first volume was like included with Comixology Unlimited subscription. Which I've also been using to read The Walking Dead, which is ridiculous. It is insane. This comic is wild. Have you excuse me, read any of The Walking Dead?
I know about the Rick 3000 or the Rick 2000 or whatever it is. That's pretty much all I know about it. Other than that, I've been kind of avoiding The Walking Dead. I want to read it eventually because I know how wild Invincible was, and I've heard that it's pretty wild.
Bro,
I'm just like really avoiding it, but I'll read it eventually.
Walking Dead is so wild, bro. It's ridiculous. It's just fun watching these people slowly devolve into madness. It's crazy.